John steps into the courtroom, his infant daughter Mia cradled in his arms. The room falls silent. Sarah, seated across from him, watches with a mix of disbelief and anger. The stakes have never been higher. Sarah is demanding full custody of Mia, claiming John is unfit to be her father. "Why are you bringing the child into this?" Sarah's lawyer spits out, glaring at John. He's calm but firm. "She's my daughter. I have every right to bring her here." The tension is palpable. Sarah stands, shaking her head, her eyes burning with frustration. "She deserves better than this," she mutters under her breath. John's eyes meet the judge's, who raises an eyebrow. "Mr. Larson," the judge begins, voice hard, "you claim you can care for this child full time. But how can we be sure? A father showing up with an infant. Does this suggest stability, or does it raise more questions?" John's jaw tightens, his gaze never leaving the judge. The courtroom holds its breath as the first shot is fired. The case has only just begun, but the tension is already unbearable. But what happened next shocked everyone in the courtroom. John takes the stand. The courtroom watches intently as he begins. "Mia is my life. I've done everything to take care of her. I've always put her first." His voice cracks, but he steadies himself. "Since the day she was born, I've been there for her, night and day." Sarah's lawyer interrupts, sharp as a knife. "Mr. Larson, you say you've been there for her, but what about your financial situation? Your erratic work schedule? You can't provide her the stability she needs." John's grip tightens on the stand. His face flushes, but he remains composed. "I work hard. I've always provided for her. I love her more than anything." The courtroom murmurs as Sarah's lawyer moves in for the kill. "You're asking for full custody, but how can you care for a child when your lifestyle is unstable?" John swallows hard, glancing briefly at Mia, asleep in his arms. His eyes glisten, but he holds back the tears. The judge leans forward. "Mr. Larson, if you want full custody, we need to see more than words. We need evidence." The room grows heavy with uncertainty. John knows his fight is far from over, but his next words could be his last chance. But what happened next shocked everyone in the courtroom. The courtroom shifts as Sarah takes the stand, her lawyer by her side. She speaks with quiet venom. "John has always been selfish. When we were together, he was never there for me or Mia. He couldn't even keep a steady job. I don't trust him to care for her." She pauses, letting the words sink in. "He's irresponsible. I've seen him leave Mia with strangers. His apartment is a mess. How could I possibly trust him with her?" John's fists tighten, but he remains silent. The hurt in his eyes is evident. His voice is barely above a whisper as he mutters, "That's not true." Sarah's lawyer presents evidence. Texts, emails, photos showing John's supposed neglect. The courtroom is silent, each person waiting for the other shoe to drop. John clenches his jaw, trying to keep his emotions in check. But it's clear, the accusations are hitting harder than expected. The judge scans the evidence, her gaze intense. "Mr. Larson, do you deny these allegations?" she asks coldly. John hesitates and then, with a slight quiver, replies, "Yes, but there's more to it than she's saying." The tension builds to an unbearable level as the room waits for the truth to come out. The door swings open. Lisa, John's longtime friend, enters the courtroom. A murmur runs through the audience. She's not on the witness list, and no one expected her to testify. "I've known John for years," Lisa begins, her voice steady but resolute. "He's a good father. I've seen it firsthand." She continues, detailing how John has always been involved in Mia's life. "He's not perfect, but he loves that girl more than anything. He's been nothing but dedicated to her." Lisa's testimony shakes the courtroom. She recounts how Sarah once dismissed John's attempts to care for Mia, calling him incompetent and undermining his efforts. The room is on edge. Sarah's lawyer objects, trying to discredit Lisa, but her words land with undeniable force. Lisa turns to Sarah. "You've been telling everyone that John can't care for Mia, but I've seen how much he does. You don't know him like I do." The judge looks down at the evidence, visibly weighing the new testimony. John's face softens, but the room remains tense, uncertain of what this new revelation means. But what happened next shocked everyone in the courtroom. The judge's gavel echoes through the room, The tension has reached a boiling point. John and Sarah sit, eyes locked on the judge. The final ruling is near. The judge rises, clears her throat, and speaks with finality. I have reviewed the testimonies, the evidence, and the emotional toll this case has taken on both parents. The custody arrangement will be joint. However, conditions will apply. John breathes out a sigh of relief, but it's short-lived. The conditions are strict. Counseling, regular checks on Mia's well-being, adjustments to John's lifestyle. His fight isn't over. The courtroom quiets as the judge's words settle in. Your shared custody is approved, Mr. Larson, she says, but this will be monitored closely. John stands, holding Mia tightly. A small victory, but his heart knows this is just the beginning of a much harder road. The courtroom is still, the weight of the decision heavy in the air. Moral: sometimes the fight for what's right isn't over after a decision, it's just the beginning. Reflective question: what would you do if you were in John's shoes, fighting not just for custody, but for the chance to prove you're a good parent? Subscribe for more real courtroom stories with real lessons.